All right. I think we're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Frank Claus with Keeping It Real. Been doing these for about 6 years. Welcome to Keeping It Real. Today we're going to talk about the magical seller lead generation email. Like that for a title for a YouTube video, the magical seller lead generation email. If you want to send an email out to your database, which would be your past clients, your centers of influence, maybe unconverted leads that you have in your CRM, we're going to give you that email today. Actually, I'm going to walk you through it. You're actually watch me personalize it so you kind of understand the structure behind it. But an email, basically, you can copy and paste and personalize a bit for your market that you can round up all the emails that you have sitting in your CRM, sitting in your Outlook and your Gmail and your whatever it is that you're using, throw them all in an email marketing program that's scrubbed and cleaned correctly, which we're going to walk through, and send this out. And the whole goal is people open it and they read it and they click a link that says they're interested in finding out what their home is worth, or they're interested in getting an offer on their home, or they're interested in coming to a seller workshop. We're going to teach people everything they know to sell a home. And it goes back to some type of page to put their further information in to get that offer. And it's a very inexpensive, simple way to generate leads now from your existing database without having to do any cold prospecting or being an annoying pest calling people cold, or manually slogging through a bunch of people who don't want to talk to you. Maybe the phone number is bad. This is one of the coolest things that I've done over the years, is just sending out an email right to your list to spike response. You can't do it all the time. You can't send out emails like this, every single week. Usually maybe like once a month or once every 2 months is maybe about right. But you're going to learn how to write and put together a direct offer email to spike lead generation from your list. So that's what today's show is about. Now, we've been doing Keeping It Real for a long time. If you want to learn how to get the most business as a real estate professional, as a residential real estate professional, real estate agent, go check out keepingitreal.com. That's where we post all the shows. We do a real nice job of writing them up and organizing and sorting them. So it's probably a little bit easier to watch them on keepingitreal.com as opposed to YouTube here. But you can also go to podcast, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and you can listen to the podcast. We also post these on the Real Geeks Facebook page. You can watch them there. And if you put your email address into keepingitreal.com, we'll send you email notifications of new shows that come up. You won't get anything else. Just whenever we have a new show and there's a replay, put your email on at keepingitreal.com. And we'll let you know when there's a new live show and you can attend. You can ask us questions and we'll teach you some really good stuff. Whether we can do a little kind of a teaching episode like today, or we interview other top agents around the country. Our goal is just to ask the questions, get the information you need to be successful in business. So I appreciate you watching. And my co-host today is Christopher. He's actually the head of marketing at Real Geeks, who is a sponsor and puts on the shows of Keeping It Real. Hi, Christopher. I think you're muted.
Hey, how about that?
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, happy to be here today. Like you said, I lead marketing at Real Geeks, and I've actually got a little bit different perspective than you because I've been doing essentially marketing for SaaS businesses for the last 15 years. So really excited to ride along.
Yep. So we're just going to have a really in-depth marketing conversation today. So I have this email here. I'm going to show you here in a second. All right. I had to set this up to the point of how do you get your email database ready to actually send out this email I will share with you. Okay. And we're also going to include a link once this is rewritten in the YouTube description in the blog post. So you can take it and copy it and paste it and personalize it for yourself. But we have to set it up before I show you the email, before I show you the magical seller lead generation email. So in order to send the email out, we actually have to have emails to send it to. And what you cannot do is you just can't go purchase a bunch of emails. You can't go purchase a bunch of email addresses from county property records and just spam people cold. It will not work. Your email service provider will shut you down. You cannot do that. You can only send an email like this out to like a warm list. And it's kind of a loose definition, but it's anyone who would probably recognize your name when you send the email out in the front line. Fair enough? So if they'd recognize your name, it would probably meet that criteria. Okay. And again, it's kind of a loose definition, but a warm list is essentially the least likely group of emails that you upload in the email marketing program to click the report spam button when an email goes out on like the top of Gmail. Because if more than like one person out of maybe 1,000 clicks that report spam link, it starts shutting down your emails and your deliverability. And you're much less likely to get people to click that report spam link when there's more of a warm list of people who know who you are than cold. Then with that being said, you want to make sure the email when it's sent is very personal, very relevant. It doesn't look like spam. I think we all know what spam looks like. I also think we all know what like email canned templated newsletters look like. If your email comes across as that, even though they might know you, they might just even be too lazy to scroll down and click unsubscribe and then click the report spam button. That's bad. So when I show you the email address, the email here in a second, it looks very personal. It's almost like if you were to go to the post office, all right, or not the post office, the mailbox, and grab your mail from the mailbox. America sorts its mail over the wastebasket. You put mail into the A pile, and you put mail into the B pile. Anything that looks like junk mail or is irrelevant, or you don't know who it is, you're very quickly through sorting it and throwing the B pile, it goes to trash. And you may not even know what the letter is. It's just, you've been doing it for so long. There's just certain clues of maybe how the cosmetics of the letter is put together that just kind of goes in the trash. All right. And then you have the A piles, everything looks important or it looks like, personal mail. And it's the same thing we all do in our email inboxes all day long, is that to triage it because it gets overwhelming. You always want to end up in the A pile. So the key with getting email that gets the best response is as personal, as authentic as possible. And when I show that to you, you'll see that principle come through. So with that, let's talk about how to actually get a list of email addresses, all right, into an email marketing program of your database that are warm, scrubbed properly, and deduplicated. So you're ready to send out a reconnect message. All right. So a couple of sources for where you can find these emails. The first list, which is okay because this is a nice personal reconnect message that we're going to send out that's very authentic, is all of your contacts that you have in your Outlook or your Gmail. So if you log into Outlook, maybe you're using that, maybe you're using AOL, that's fine. I don't have any, it's okay if you have an AOL email address. All right. Maybe you're using Gmail, whatever it is for your email marketing program. You would log into that and export the address book of all the people in your email marketing program. All right. It's sitting there. Next list. I would take your cell phone, export all the people from your cell phone, Chris. Everyone on your cell phone, export them, put them into another spreadsheet sitting on your desktop. Third source, your existing CRM. Maybe you're using Real Geeks. Maybe you're using one of the other CRMs out there. All right. You pick a CRM, you go in there, you export everything except anyone who's unsubscribed from emails in that system. If they've unsubscribed from emails in your CRM, if your CRM sends out email and people unsubscribed, don't export those people. Or if they've bounced, the emails aren't good, don't export those people. All right. And I'm also going to throw in there, if you're using a CRM in the real estate space, such as Real Geeks, and there's other, and they're doing some type of, and you're doing some type of lead generation, maybe you're doing Google AdWords pay-per-click to drive them back to the front-end facing website to register to save their searches, or you're doing pay-per-click or Facebook ads or whatever you have it to maybe find out what your home is worth. You're probably going to get a lot of leads, but a good number of those will never respond to you and are probably just bad opt-ins, just the nature of online lead generation. I don't want any archives either. So all the old archives that you tried forever that you've been emailing and calling that are just not responding to you, let's also leave all the archives out when you export all the contacts out of that CRM. It's just going to help with the email deliverability. I kind of only want the active, maybe engaged, visit the website, opening emails, maybe you've talked to type of contacts from the existing CRM. Got it? All right. Now, the fourth source is you may have a dialer, okay? You may be using something like Mojo in the real estate space. There's different, RedX, LandVoice. These are services that are common among real estate professionals that, calls the phones for you. You might have some nurtures in there, people you've actually spoken to, not the cold emails that maybe you bought and you appended to a cold list, to a list of homeowners, but ones that, you've spoken to these people. You want to grab those and export those and put those in another spreadsheet. All right. Now, the other thing, I'd add one more on here. If you can go to your broker or the brokers that you've worked for in the past, hopefully you have a list of all your past clients. You've been selling real estate for a while. I mean, not even a while, but maybe 20 past clients, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1,000, whatever, how long you've been in business. It's nice to have that list. It's a really good chance that your past clients are in the previous lists, your Gmail export, your CRM export, your Outlook export, your phone export. Pretty good chance they're in there. But just in case they're not, because that's probably where you get the most response of the people in your list when it comes to doing business again, I would go to your broker or your past broker and say, I didn't keep a list of all the people I worked with. Do you have it in the compliance department? And see if they can send it to you. And hopefully the contact information is there. And you might be able to go to your broker or your past brokers after you switch brokerages, trying to look for, rosier future, which is common in the space. They may be able to give it to you. and grab that. And that's another spreadsheet that you have sitting on your desktop. You hanging in there with me, Chris?
Yeah. Hey, Frank. So we already had one question, which is what is the best way to export the contacts off my phone?
Oh,
And
well, that's Google. Google will tell you that. No, it's a great question.
yeah, exactly. And I think the shortest answer might be there's probably not like a super magic answer that'll dump you. And it might actually be beneficial because that gives you the ability to go through and actually look at those contacts and make sure they're legit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that's the very next thing is you just kind of do a raw dump of all this stuff and you put it on a spreadsheet. So by the way, how do you actually do all that? You call the CRM company, ask them, you Google it, and you need to find the instructions how to do it. But there's ways to do it all, which is, we'll have another 3-hour keeping it real walk through how to do that. But just go Google it and it'll walk you through, how to do it. It's a great question. It comes up all the time of how do I export the contacts off my phone? And you'd be surprised. A lot of times don't make it as easy as you expect to make this happen. But the ultimate goal is everything you got is sitting on your desktop in these spreadsheets. Now, when you open these spreadsheets, you're going to be appalled. All this missing information. It's not complete. It's fine. It happens with everyone. Okay. What you can certainly do at this point, if there's anybody in your life that, oh my gosh, if this person got an email from me, an email, I'll be terrible. All right. They can't get an email from me. You could open up the spreadsheet, probably sort by email address, and start scrolling down and deleting anybody that, God forbid they get an email from you. I don't think anyone in the history of my profession, what I do for a living, my firm is called Viral Marketing, VYRAL. I've been doing this for 12 years and thousands of agents to help them work their database. I don't think anyone's actually removed anyone from getting an email. The only time I've seen someone go through the whole email export, Chris, is asset managers at banks when they're in the REO business. They don't want to email them anything. So they remove those individuals. Outside of that, maybe besides, maybe a crazy ex-spouse or something like that, doesn't want to get anything, they leave them off. All right. So anyways, you have these lists exported. They're sitting on your desktop. Now what we have to do is we have to scrub them because a lot of these emails are not going to be good. They're going to be bad emails, bounced emails. They aren't going to be delivered, old email addresses. And if you just took all these lists and uploaded them into a MailChimp or a Constant Contact and try to press send, it ain't going out because a lot of these emails are bad. All right. So the very next step is you want to use a service like NeverBounce, neverbounce.com. That's what we use. There's other ones like it, but basically they silently ping each of the email addresses to see if the actual mailbox works. And they remove all the bad emails or ones that aren't formatted correctly or ones that just, are bad and lots of reasons why they're bad. And the report from NeverBounce will tell you, but bad. So it's not too expensive. I don't know the exact price. Maybe I think it's $50 for scrubbing 10,000 emails. Absolutely
it's usually
worth
a couple of cents
Yeah,
email address.
couple
I
cents
mean,
email address.
businesses of all sizes use that. That's
Yep.
a corporate standard.
Email scrubbing. So what you do is you upload the email list to those services and download the new one, and now they're all squeaky clean. Nothing else to say on that. Easy peasy. Gets rid of all the emails that aren't going to be delivered. Right. So at that point, you now have, 4 or 5 fully scrubbed spreadsheets, comma separated values files sitting on your desktop. All right. But there's also a lot of duplicates across the system. You probably had the same person a couple of times, maybe in Outlook or Gmail. And if they're in Outlook or Gmail, they're probably in the CRM and they might be in the cell phone. So there's a whole bunch of duplicates. Now, here's what's really cool. Now you need to sign up for an email marketing program. Do not upload all these people into your CRM. Don't do it. Especially do not upload them all into your Real Geeks. I don't recommend that. All right. Because the people inside your CRM are probably they should be more engaged, opt in, more niched out people. This is just kind of a big dump of all the email addresses you have from across the system. We'll talk about how they get in CRM here in a second. But you sign up for a separate email marketing program that is designed specifically for bulk email. Don't want to put this into whatever existing CRM that you're using. So let me give you a couple. At Viral, we use Emma. It's myemma, EMMA.com. Go check it out. That works really well. The backup that we use, in case Emma's not working or there's some reason, is actually Zoho. Zoho campaigns, ZOHO campaigns. Zoho, for those of you that have been in the space for a while, they've been around a long time. They're just like Salesforce. And they're kind of like the poor man's Salesforce. And we've used Zoho in other business I have, and I'm super happy with them. So I'll give them a shout out. Good job, guys. But Zoho campaigns works really well. It's a very flexible, very cheap, very good deliverability. And they got an A game. Salesforce has a email marketing program for those of you that are using like more big teams called Exact Target. Exact Target.
You got to be a monster though for that one.
Those are for the monsters out there.
Yeah.
All right. Those are for the big teams. You are correct, Chris, on that one. All right. And as you kind of come, so the reason I give you those first is because they are a little more expensive and you pay more for them. But the actual getting of the email into the inbox from something like that works really well. All right. And then follow down from there, you're going to have ones that you probably have heard of: Constant Contact, MailChimp. What are some other ones, Christopher?
And you hit the big ones right there. MailChimp, Constant Contact, some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Emma, Zoho, recommend that. Used it in the past.
Yeah. Exact Target's going to be for the big boys out here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you need some complicated automation.
Absolutely.
And you're an enterprise and want to pay $100,000 a month. So
here's the deal. There's email marketing programs out there. I think you're familiar with that. And my recommendation is probably to find the one that charges a little more than instead of dumping around for everyone's other lists. All right. Now you sign up for this email marketing account. All right. You go to, let's use MailChimp. All right. You go to MailChimp, you set it up. And, you take all of these email lists. Okay. And you upload them to MailChimp. All right. And it's okay, there's an existing relationship there. It's the loosest definition of an existing relationship we're going to use. All right. Spam is whatever people want it to be. But trust me, when you see the actual email that goes out and after you scrub these lists and you pulled from only these sources, we never really had a problem unless your list comes back like in excess of like 20,000 emails, which is very unlikely for most of you. That's the case. All right. But for most people, it's usually a couple thousand emails usually come back from this type of exercise, and never been a problem with anything else, except when it gets into like more, the obscene numbers of 10,000 plus. Okay?
Unless you're buying lists from really bad sources, you're probably
it's not going to be that lie,
or it never bounces your security blanket. So
yeah, or unless you exported all the archives or all those tens thousands of emails from over the years that just have been dormant. That's why I said leave those out and the unsubscribes. All right. So what we did is we did everything we possibly could to make sure that this list is, as squeaky clean as possible without making it too small. It's like this nice little Goldilocks we have. You're not too hot, not too cold, to get a message out that is not going to like trigger a bunch of spam filters. So now what you're going to do is you upload, I think I said this, you upload each list into MailChimp. All right. And when you do this, or any email marketing software, I'm just using MailChimp as an example, it'll automatically deduplicate all the lists by email address. The system will do it. All the email programs will do it. So now you have a fully scrubbed, deduplicated list of all of your best contacts sitting in an email marketing account, ready to receive a message. Are you guys getting excited yet? You guys are here to see the magical seller lead generation email, but you have to actually have emails to send it to. That makes sense.
I'm excited. Just as a marketing guy, I'm like, that kind of list's available. Let's do this. It's money 100%. To be made.
Now we're going to make it better. For those of you that are team leaders, for those of you that have agents working on your team, get all your team members to do this. Because it's not only your lists. Each of the agents on your team have these same lists. Okay. And if you can get them to export everything and get them to send the same email out from them, you now bring viral marketing into this, a little bit more, puppeteered. All right. But remember, like one of the things I've always taught for a while was like the value of your agents. I mean this facetiously, but hear me out with this. The value of the agents is not the agent. It's going to be the database they bring to your team. All these people are bringing their Gmails and their Outlooks and their contact address books. Gmails, Outlooks, all these agents have contact address books. When we get your agents, we try to get them to cold call and prospect, or we buy all these leads for them. Cost a lot of money, cost a lot of time. No one really probably joins your team because they're cold call, but we don't work their lists. So just let that be a little aha if you're watching this. Not only can you do what we just went through for yourself, but your agents can do the same thing. Ooh. Christopher, you excited on that?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
lists.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Marketers. All right. So now there's one more thing we have to do. All right. Did you ever get an email where, someone emails you, or maybe you sent the email someone, they say a screenshot, send it back, and it has that big yellow, this might be some spam or spoofing email, that they don't really know who the sender was when the email goes out. All right. That's because the domain name hasn't been authenticated. So here's the deal. When you now go to create an email inside MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatever, it'll ask you, like, who do you want to send the email? Who's going to show up in the from line? And what's the reply email address? And you can literally type in everything. You can type in the president's name and president's email address. It'll let you use it. I wouldn't recommend it. But you can type in any name and any email address. Anyone. And you can send the email out from that domain, from that name. That's just kind of how it works. Now, the thing is, that's really what a lot of spoofers and spammers do, because there's no way to authenticate that the actual domain name you put in the email marketing from line is yours and legit. All right. So we're going to get a little technical. I want you to pay attention here, but this is something you need to set up before you start sending out any email, any magical seller lead generation email, or any email for that matter, to a bulk list. It's called SPF and DKIM authentication. I don't even know what it even stands for. All right. But if you type in Emma or MailChimp or Constant Contact or Zoho Campaigns, DKIM and SPF into Google, I guarantee you there will be a help file on how to set that up. All right. And basically what you do is whatever name you'll be sending this email from and the email address, you take some little pieces of code and you put it maybe on the website, or you put it into the settings for the domain, the DNS settings of the domain. Again, I'm getting technical, but it'll walk you through how to do this. And what this does, it authenticates the sender, and it dramatically improves the likelihood of when you send that email that it goes into the personal inbox. In addition to that, it dramatically reduces the likelihood that there's this big, huge spoofing or spam possibility notification in the email at the very top when they open it. Now, whatever email marketing program you're using, you want to always do that. So if you're currently sending out an email and it's not authenticated, see if you can figure out how to do it. That's a cool little tip from inside the industry no one knows about that will help with your deliverability. Christopher, thoughts on that?
Nailed it. The support organizations in all of these places, whether it's a web hosting company or the ESP, the email service provider, or us, will be able to help you figure that one out. And it's a huge pro tip. Frank, what do you think about the reply to address?
Personal. Oh my gosh. Yeah, personal. Like, no reply at your address, or
please don't do that. I mean, we see a lot of responses just, in our corporate emails, people hit reply and start talking to us, and it's great.
Yeah. It should not be. It should be a person. Like the email should be. So when we'll go through this, when you load the email, it should come from you. It should be a human being. So it should come from your name, and the reply back, it goes to your email address. Sound good? That is the answer.
100%.
All right. Great. I hope you're all hanging in with me on this, keeping it real, and I hope you're getting excited marketing wise. So now it's time.
Let me interject here real quick. The Kevins are showing up strong in our comment section, and
yeah,
one of them wants to know if there's going to be a step-by-step guide for this.
Well, it'll be written out. Yeah. So when you go to keepingitreal.com, they're going to take the recording and they're going to put this up for a write-out for you.
I know a guy who works in marketing at Real Geeks, and I could probably make that happen.
Perfect. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through the actual magical email. Now, this is a YouTube video. I would put a little, okay, where do I jump to get to the darn email? But if you jump to the email and then do everything I shared with you, the email is worthless. All right. So now we have, let's just be clear, we're kind of in the next phase of actually getting to the message. We have to have the market. We have all these emails scrubbed, deduplicated, ready to go, sitting in your email marketing account. So now we have to write a message that cosmetically does not look like spam. It looks like a personal message and is honest and authentic with good copywriting that gets someone to click a link to go back to some type of landing page or form to opt in or register for something that generates a lead, which we're going to go through. So what I did here is I actually pulled up several different types of direct offers. 2 of those direct offers, actually 3 are for seller leads, finding out what your home is worth, or getting an offer on your home, or registering for a seller workshop. I also have some one for buyer leads. And I got a couple. I'm actually going to go through 6 today. I'm going to give you 6 different types of magical emails, depending upon the type of lead that you're looking for. That way you're not sending out, if you want to email your database to generate leads more often, it's not the same type of message. You can kind of change it up. All right. And in addition to that, I pulled the emails that we wrote back in May of 2020. So I'm going to show you the emails that worked in May of 2020 when there's a panic attack going on for the coronavirus. It's like a little capsule of time. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to show you these. And then I'm going to look at the principles of how the messages are written. And then I'm going to personalize them for you live here on Keeping It Real for, as the date of this recording, November 11th, 2021. How's that sound? Christopher, are you ready? Are you ready for the magical emails?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Let me format my screen so it doesn't screw up the aspect ratio on the YouTube too much when I do this. I'm a total geek, so hang on. Hang on. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me share my screen. Do you see my screen?
I can see it.
All right, perfect. Here we go. All right. So, subject line, free city home value report. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of personalize the opening here just a little bit, because in context of some of these emails, the way they were written, you've already been emailing your database. But since in the context of how I open this Keeping It Real, you probably haven't sent out an email. So I'm going to write here. I want to say, hey, I thank you for opening this email. I'm writing you since we're connected on social media. We've done business together, or we've communicated. You communicated together at some time. Let's look here. So I wanted to let you know that city, I'm using Omaha as a placeholder, it's my hometown. I want to let you know that Omaha home prices are not dropping after our great lockdown or virus crisis these past 2 weeks. Now, we can change this, can't we? We want to open with something relevant. We want to open with something that's going on in the news. I think what's going on with the news right now is the Federal Reserve has started tapering their bond purchases, if that's correct. I think as of right now, Zillow exited the iBuying space after getting it handed to them with their algorithms were not correct. Christopher, is there anything else that we could possibly mention that's going on in the real estate news?
Inflation.
Got it. Yep. Unless you've been living under a rock, it's no secret that home prices are through the roof. After the hottest selling season, it might even be ever. I don't know what that is, but the hottest selling season, it really might be ever. I think home prices have grown faster than they ever have grown. Is that right, Christopher?
I think it's ever.
I think it is. I think it's
a little hyperbole never hurt anyone. So
yeah, hottest selling season ever. It's while the fundamentals, I can't spell right, are still very strong, there are headwinds. The Federal Reserve, what else? Started,
raising rates.
The Federal Reserve stopped.
Quantitative, or
what
do they call it? Quantitative easing.
Stopped printing as much money.
Slowed down the brand.
Zillow, got out of the home flipping business. And what else? And prices, are getting to the point that fewer and fewer people can actually afford a mortgage.
And that's wages declining.
Yeah. So we can go on and on there. What I want you to see here is I'm opening with something relevant, where I'm really showing you here that this is not canned. I'm trying to open with something personal. So, hey, dear friends, clients, and colleagues. All right. I just want you to see how I write this. Thank you for opening this email. I'm writing you since we're connected on social media. We've done business together or we communicate at some time. Okay. All right. What's this? Unless you're living on a rock, it's no secret that home prices here in Omaha are through the roof after the hottest selling season ever. Home prices are up, I don't know, 32% this, well, not that high, 23% this year, which is might be the case in some markets. I'm in Omaha, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Well, the fundamentals are still very strong, which there are headwinds to high home prices. The Federal Reserve started printing as much money. Zillow got out of the home flipping business, and prices are getting to the point where fewer and fewer can actually afford a mortgage. Now, would you have any interest in knowing what your home would sell for today? There's a transition statement. See that? Okay. Well, it'll cost you about $600 to get a full appraisal if you want to know what your home is worth. You can also get a free online guesstimate, but they are general and not entirely correct. I wrote this back in May. So, case in point.
I wish you could throw in a hook about Zillow leaving the
Case in
market.
point, Zillow,
Zillow.
Has 7,000 homes below that are not worth what they paid for because their online algorithm was wrong.
Their algorithm could not predict the prices.
Yep, was wrong. Right? That's true. All right. So algorithm ALG, or what's funny is I'm always embarrassed doing this because my spelling is so bad, like live on a webinar. So please bear with me.
No, there's a rule that's like the more people that watch you type, the worse you type.
The worse you type.
Yeah.
Case in point, Zillow said that what they paid for the online algorithm was wrong. So I think this is what's so important here is I'm setting up the call to action. This is very personal. I'm using one sentence per line. It's very authentic. If somebody got this, it's looked like you're writing to a friend. I want you to feel these principles in the message. It doesn't come across as spam, does it, Christopher?
No.
No. All right.
Personal.
Yeah. So would you know your home's worth today? Now I have call me here. I'm going to say, enter your home address here to find out what it's likely worth if you sold it today. Boom. I'm going to underline that. Got it? So that is going to be the call to action link. When someone scrolls down this email, the whole goal is to get them to click right there, which is going to go back, if you're a Real Geeks customer, the home value tool. Right, Chris? All right.
Definitely.
You may have other services that you use where someone can find out what their home is worth online. But the point is that you're going to drive it to that. But here's what's really important. Even after setting up the fact that Zillow's algorithm is wrong, these aren't entirely correct. They are just kind of guesstimates. Now, here's the deal. I would probably say here next. Now, again, this is just an estimate, but it's not. But I think I think it comes in closer than what Zillow did. Zillow does, because it didn't have the incentive to go so high. If you want to know what I would price it, what I would list it at on the market if you hired me. So if you want to know what I would list it for in the market today, if you hired me, I just need a quick phone call with you to learn more about your home, along with any photos or video you could send me, very important, by email, SMS, Facebook Messenger, etc. Right? So again, this is just an estimate. I think it comes in close to what Zillow does. If you want
So
to
could you throw something in that line about like my experience and personal
Mhm.
knowledge of the location?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So if you want a more accurate price, what I would list it for on the market today if you hired me like that, I just need a quick phone call with you to learn more about your home. Send me, any photos, again, I want you to, I'm doing it live. I want you to see the creative process. I think it's really helpful. Send me any photos or video you can send me, very important, by email, Facebook Messenger, etc. I think it's very important that, yes, you can go buy an appraisal, online guesstimates. I'm just so you don't have like other agents like turn you in here, like other haters. You're not offering an appraisal. I'm very careful of my language. You're not offering an appraisal. It's basically like, hey, find out what it's likely worth if you sold it today. Find out here for more accurate price. You play with the language here, but there's always haters that are going to turn some email in that you're doing appraisals. But I'm being careful of my language. All right. So here's the deal. Let's put this up. You'll have a better idea what a bank may value your home for refinance. You can update your balance sheet or just rest assured knowing what a buyer would likely pay today. I'm happy to do this for you, even if you're not, thinking of selling right now. You'll have a better idea of what a bank may value your home for refinance. You can update your balance sheet if you do that, like for your personal finance, or just rest assured knowing what a buyer would likely pay today. It's completely free and there's zero obligation to sell your home. Now, here's a cool little story. This is what really sells. Watch this. I was working with Sally in Nelson's Creek, a neighborhood, and her home value came back 15% more than what she thought. I never thought my home would be worth so much. Thank you for the free home price opinion, right? That's kind of the right language. It allowed me to be more confident applying for a loan to get my 17-year-old into college. And then you're happy to do the same for that person. So you kind of have like a little, maybe legitimately, like put a little quote there if someone's used it before. And I'll remove this out.
Love the social proof.
Yep. Now, these home prices can't go on forever at the risk of inflation. If you're thinking about selling your home this fall, winter even, maybe the best chance to land your highest selling price. Again, since money is so cheap right now for buyers and the banks are still lending with the liquidity provided as we work out of where for unemployment and respective financial crisis since March of 2020. That still hasn't changed, right?
Yeah, and if anything, you have a chance to like kind of compress people's sense of time because we are seeing that like tapering of quantitative easing.
Yep. I'm here to help you with any real estate needs you have. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll give you a well-researched and accurate answer so you make the right decisions. Your name. So boom, there it is. There it is. Now, you're going to go, well, that seems so long. Well, people can still read it, but notice how it's written as a funnel. The opening up here really applies to everybody. Who's not interested kind of in this? You see how this is opening to pretty much everyone about like what's going on with home prices? And it sets up very clearly this call to action to enter your address here to find out what your home is likely worth. All right. But then as it keeps going down, it's really just prompting people to send you pictures of their home to give them a more accurate price opinion or broker price opinion, a BPO or something like that. And then it's just, if you're thinking about buying or selling, let me know you're here. It's kind of written as a funnel where it broadly appeals at the top where it opens. It's more specific to like the people who are actually interested inside the bottom. And here's the deal. When if people know who you are and they open this and it comes across as really personal, authentic, it's written this way. When's the last time you got a well-written email like this? Ever? It's usually some like canned, quick, spammy or like newsletter thing. This sells. And I've been doing this for years and this works like incredible. So there it is. It's all right there for you. We'll put this up as a link so you actually download the edited version. But the whole idea is you upload this in your email marketing program and this goes out to everybody, like the whole list. Now, here's what's going to happen. All right. The first thing is people reply back and saying, why did you send me this email? Never email me again. Explicitive. I'm going to sue you. Ah! Yep, you're going to get it. But no, you're not going to get sued. All right. Just click on subscribe because you're going to have the haters. But that's good. That's what marketing is designed to do. Marketing is designed to separate the interested from the not interested. When people reply back like that, you should be so happy. Now you'll never waste money on them again. You'll never waste a possible email spam complaint. You'll never call them. You'll never work with them ever again. And you will not have to invest any money in that person. And they let you know. Thank them. Hug your haters. All right.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more with that because one, it's an indication of success, right? It means that people are reading it. So like one in 1,000 is going to send you that email.
Yeah.
Right. And the follow-up thing is I've frequently turned those guys around into customers because they had an emotional response. So ask them what the source of it is.
Usually get investment leads because something's really wrong going on in their life.
And you can pull that thread. So
you're going to get that. Deal with it. It's fine. Just suppress them. Got it. You're also going to have people replying back saying, hey, that was really cool. It's been a long time. Thanks for like that information. That's nice. You'll also have people literally replying back. Hey, I am interested in selling my house. Let's talk. Awesome. Like, how great is that? Got it? All right. Then you're going to start seeing if you have your web page set up. So again, Real Geeks has a great home seller tool. All right. And it's basically someone would click that link and it goes back to a page where they can type their information to find what their home is worth. Got it? And hopefully you have it set up. So when somebody types that information on that form, on that website, you get an email notification. And you're going to see your email inbox start blowing up all these notifications of all these people that enter their information that want to know what their home is worth. All right. Pretty cool. You can also go in to the email marketing program like MailChimp or Constant Contact, whoever you used, and run a list of all the people that opened it and all the people that actually clicked the link, even if they're not in. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? It's so simple.
That list is so valuable. So
valuable. You don't really
valuable.
hear much about it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you probably just call those people immediately.
100%. And this is why I call it magical, because like, look, you know, you're trying to get business and you're like, oh, I'm just going to slog through a bunch of cold calls. Ugh, don't answer the phone anymore. Right. Numbers aren't good. Or I'm going to go write all these checks on marketing, hopefully get some people to call me. But the reality is that all of you watching this have this list sitting. I mean, anyone does, has this list sitting there, just totally neglected, not used, because you probably never really thought about this. And you can export it and put it in an email marketing program like we talked about today, and then just get them some type of message. All right. And again, here's this personalized message that you can send out that has been personalized for you today to copy and paste, make it work for your market, and you're good to go. Now, that's the lesson for today. I want to spend another 10 minutes here giving you some other ideas of some other messages that you could send out to generate leads. They still need to be personalized for the sake of time today. I don't have time to personalize all them. If you're interested in hiring us at Viral, you can go check us out. We do this for you. It's part of our program, but these will all be posted here for you, and you can sit down personalize them yourself, maybe using some of the principles and how you watched me take an old email from March of 2020 and personalize it up for the first one here. So let's take a look at a couple more. All right. So the next one that's really powerful is just get an instant cash offer. There's services out there like iReal Estate Pro. If you go back to one of our past shows, there's one with Dan Noma. He's really big into making instant offers available to people where they can get some couple off-market offers from institutional buyers. iReal Estate Pro. I've heard of Zoodealio. I've heard of Zavvy, Zavvie. These are services that a homeowner can put their information in and get a couple offers in the house right away pretty easily. All right. And then you guide them as the agent. So people want that. So those generate really good leads, by the way, like sending out emails for instant cash offer. Like home value offer is a little more, it'll get more leads, but a little less likely to actually want to sell their home because they're a little more upstream. If you send an email out, like, do you just want an offer on your house? Those are a lot better, more motivated seller leads. So here's another type of magical seller lead generation email that would probably generate less leads for you, but much more high quality. So subject line is offer on your home. Dear friends, clients, colleagues, I just wanted to write you and ask you if you're looking for a faster, maybe easy way to sell your home this fall. Well, I have a new option if you want to skip the hassle of selling your home. It's also a great way to keep buyers who may have COVID out of your home without any showings. That's still an issue. I can likely get an offer on your home from companies who want to buy it, not individuals on the traditional market. When you call, just let me know whether you prefer maximum value or price or convenience. You know, this means if you take one of these more instant offers, here's all the benefits: close quickly, pick your closing date, no showings, no negotiating with buyers. This is all the copy that's on Open Doors website. old Zillow offers website offer pad. This is what you see on the billboards. This is what you see on the radio ads. These are the benefits that Zillow wants. Got it? It's in the advertising everyone's using. So, enter your home address to get an instant cash offer on your home. Okay. Or you can even say a preliminary if you want to be more comfortable. Oh God. Preliminary. Oh, we'll borrow that one. Moving on. So I'll go to my investor relationships and companies who specialize in all this and secure the best offer for you. I was working with Bob Taylor in Thousand Oaks. He decided to take an instant offer. I was just wanted to sell the home. I didn't care what deal with the showings. He told me the offer was fair and fast. Thank you so much. You made it easier for me to move on time, which is important. Great. I can likely get you an offer in 7 days. In fact, I can probably get you several offers in 7 days without any hassles on your part by showing your home to the public. Word of caution, there's a limited amount of funds for these companies. Like I said, Zillow just shut down after overpaying. So if you want to get on this, get in now. Give me a call, reply to the email, or opt in here. I'll shop them all and represent you to get the best price without the hassle. Your name. All right.
And the cool thing about this, you've actually got a couple of different calls to action. You have the which style of transaction do you prefer? Call me now, enter your address. There's a couple different ways for them to interact with you.
Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Oh man, it's a bad day today. Spell preliminary. But look, I think what you're getting at here is, man, I can go risk all this money on marketing and it fails. Or I can slog through and be this pest to all these people trying to get somebody on the phone with somebody to sell home. And it's just like soul sucking. Or I can sit back and think. And instead of using brawn, I can use brains. All right. I can grab my list, sit down, use some of the principles, some of the guide that I'm showing you here, and write an email that's authentic and personal. Set up to my list, drive response. Any ahas so far from anyone in the chats? Do you have these chats going on, Christopher? Is anyone getting excited about the concepts I'm sharing here today?
Oh,
Any comeback or feedbacks?
People are pumped about this template. So yeah, we'll definitely have it available. Keepingitreal.com. Look in the comments. We'll make it available.
Let's look at another one. Hey, do you want to buy a new home? You're not alone. We're all thinking about our homes after being stuck at home for so long. It's something on everyone's mind. Home prices are way up. Can I afford to get a new place and what's for sale? That's what everyone's thinking. I'm sure the interest rates are all-time lows. I just saw a 3.4 30-year rate come back, probably lower. That means you can afford more house for less money. Well, I like to share my direct access to MLS with you. Nah, I'm fine saying that. Kind of is on your website. It's up to you. I like to share my direct access to what I have. That's what every buyer wants. The buyer is scared, they're not seeing all the homes for sale. And the holy grail is the MLS. So fine, here it is. It's the best way to search all homes for sale. So you see everything for sale. That's what I have access to as a realtor. And what I just did here is let's say you didn't have a Real Geek site, just call me. I'll take you on a tour of what's the sale with MLS. It's what you do. The call to action could just be call me. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's just leave that one there. I could rewrite this to, search all homes for sale on my website, the hyperlink. That's what that could be. But let's just say call me. Wouldn't that be nice? Just a straight phone call? Sure. Works great.
That'd be excellent. What do you feel? What do you think about text me?
Sure. Yeah, call or text me. Absolutely. Basically, you'll see details that you can't get on Zillow, which is the case usually most part of the time, especially the MLS comments. And in some cases, you'll see homes not even on Zillow yet. Since there's a delay from when the listing contract is signed with an agent, what you see. These public home search portals may have inaccuracies too. Oh my gosh, do they have inaccuracies? Right? The MLS is the source of the data. I can also read in virtual showings for you. I'll walk you through the home with my iPhone on Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, so you stay safe. It's more convenient. You can also see what the home is really like versus all the Photoshopped images you see online. They're not just reality. In fact, I was told Darren Jacobs buy a home in Fairacres. I saw all the homes for sale that perfectly fit my criteria. So buy the right house for me. I know I got a better price too, since I had the information not every buyer in Omaha has due to your help. Thank you. The market is really hot right now. Record numbers of people want to buy a new home, but there's just not much for sale. That's because low interest rates, honestly, the virus crisis, people reevaluating, their current living situation. All right. Well, I cannot share off-market listings with you. I want to have every advantage. You'll want to have every advantage you can to see properties before the entire market sees them. I'm careful on the language These are not coming soons. I'm just simply saying that from the time it's in the MLS, it might delay to when it goes in the portals. All right. Maybe I'll make it happen. Call me. I'll show you everything for sale. Help me through the process. Let me know. How's that? Again, play around with it if you're comfortable with language. You can copy and paste that, send it to your list. People will call you and they will opt in for searching for houses. How's that?
Looks good. Yeah, every one of these platforms that you're going to be using, whether it's Real Geeks or an ESP, is going to give you data back on, who's opening it. We talked about the lists and calling them, but also, playing with your subject line is another great way of, lightly experimenting with this and,
I'll give you one more
people into the email.
Here's one more, then we'll wrap it up. Home selling workshop. Clients and friends. Are you thinking about selling your home here in San Diego? Well, you're invited to my home selling workshop. How to get top dollar in uncertain times. Get your free workshop ticket here. This just goes to Eventbrite. It's a virtual online event. I'm going to answer all these questions, all the questions that you want to know about selling your house. We'll also talk about ways to add thousands of dollars to your home. You also get a free home value report. Call me, register here, attend my workshop. If you're thinking about selling your home, you got to check this out. Easy peasy. All right. I've given you guys some emails. The concept here, what's important is not the tactic or the email. It's the principle we talked about today of rounding up your list, cleaning up, and getting an honest, authentic message out to them that solves some pain point or problem in their life with some type of offer to help them and tell them to call you or email you back or to go on, click a link to go register to get that specific offer. And that is how you magically, I'll say magically, generate seller leads, because it is like magic. Because when we think of seller lead generation, we think of, brutal phone call pain or spending lots of money at risk. And man, if there was another option, and also like bothering people for referrals that are very inconsistent, man, wouldn't it be great if there was some other way that magically didn't have all those downsides? Well, here it is. And you got it at the end. It's keeping it real. There we go. So what questions do we have? Let's wrap it up. What do you guys want to know?
Okay, so there was one person that asked, what if they're using an existing ESP and they want to make sure that they stay out of spam? And so probably coming back to your tips, make sure that you're correctly set up with a verified domain.
Well, I would use a different
Never
one.
Bounce on your current records.
Yeah, I would start with don't even use your current one. I would
go.
maybe just go open up a whole separate MailChimp for this. Set up a whole separate email account.
This
is going to be everything we talked about.
Yeah, this is going to be super nerdy, but how do you feel about IP warm-up? Is this something these guys need to worry about?
I don't know what that is. What's that? That is super nerdy.
Yeah, super nerdy. I mean, this is the advantage of going with a big ESP is they're going to worry about this for you. But there's deep down in the internet, like warm IPs that are trusted. That
would be the IP of the email service provider sending this out.
That's right.
That's probably why you're paying the money.
That's
right. The more expensive email marketing programs have the better IP addresses that haven't been a dumping ground for everyone else's spam lists.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And this is why that you have ESPs like MailChimp that
email service providers is what that stands for.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm using the nerd language.
Yeah.
That get hyperactive about, like, if you're using bad lists, they'll kick you off.
And this is not a bad list. Again, if we're talking a couple thousand people with a personal email like this, that's well written to a scrubbed list, we very rarely have issues.
Yeah. I'm scrolling back through the comments. Lots of people asking about where they can get this.
We'll put a link to it on the replay. I mean, so this is recorded on YouTube. So if you want it right now, you can just go back to the recording and press pause and rewrite it. But once this is processed and this video is up on YouTube for a while, we'll put a link to the email for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we got through all the questions here.
Anything else, guys, you guys want to know? That's why you attend live. This is why you showed up. Congratulations. You saw something interesting and hopefully you got some information that you can go use to sell houses. How easy is that? If you guys want to check out Viral, I normally don't ever talk about my company here, but this is literally what we do. Go check out Viral Marketing, VYRAL, Google Viral Marketing. That's my firm. You give us money and we do this, among other things. but it's about how to get the most out of your existing database. That's what our company is all about. What else, Christopher?
I think it's
Nothing
pretty
else?
good.
No questions? Sweet.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think you nailed it. I mean, this is
well,
even at the, when you're doing this, for a big company, email marketing is still your number one source. Like
It is.
this stuff's so good. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what size you are.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Everyone, thanks for watching Keeping It Real. Hopefully was jam-packed with good information. Go to keepingitreal.com. We'll see kind of the fully formatted, produced write-up of the show. We'll get posted there once this is done after the recording. You can also go to Apple iTunes podcasts, subscribe to keepingitreal.com to get email notifications. Thank you so much for watching. If you could leave a comment down below of what you learned. If you've made it this far, this has been actually valuable to you. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment on how this has opened your mind or how this has helped you. It's nice for us to see this because we set aside an hour to put these on to get the feedback. It also helps us with YouTube maybe seeing this and serving it up so more people see it. It'd be very helpful for this free episode if you just write us something, nice in the comments down on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We appreciate you watching this, and we'll have another Keep It Real very shortly in a few weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.